Good evening, everyone, and welcome to AOR, the PS4 Hype Energy F3 League, and this is the start of season number 16. Now, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name's Kieran. I am supposed to be here with Evil tonight, but unfortunately he's been having microphone problems all night tonight, and unfortunately he will not be able to join us. So you're stuck for me tonight. Glad you could join us for the F3 League. This was sprung onto me, the whole streaming side of it. I've been given the stream keys. Help us all. So hopefully everything goes down without a hitch tonight. And hopefully everything will be okay. Obviously I will try and keep up with everyone in the comments, so leave your comments down below if you have a question or anything. I'll do my best to try and answer it. It's my debut too. So hopefully everything goes down without a real hitch, and we will get into the race as soon as the last driver is here. I think they're all here actually. I think they're all just waiting for, I believe, another spectator. So but that's not happening. So I think we're all ready to go. I hope so anyway. I hope you guys are ready to go as well. This should be a really good one. Lots of comments coming in, but I can't actually see them yet. So this is my first ever AOR race. I have been commentating since around January. So you know, I haven't been this nervous since since I first started commentating, so there might be a few stutters here and there, but I hope you guys can jump with me, and we'll be able to have a really good time. We're all starting to ready up now then, and hopefully then this will be a really enjoyable race. I really hope you're ready for this one, as I am too. As I said before, I've got to make sure everything's okay. What a way to jump straight in to this one. I'm looking forward to it though. It should be a really good one. Let me just edit my own one. Obviously I'm doing my best here. Such a soothing voice. You should be on Radio 4. Why, thank you. You'll find out pretty quickly during a race when there's action going on that I don't have such a soothing voice, but we'll see. So the 41st to 60th drivers, debut squad, absolutely. Smoking Puppy, welcome to the biggest sim racing league in the world. Well, there you go. I'm very happy to be a part of it. Smoking Puppy saying welcome, thank you very much. Nunu Marcus saying I sound very nice. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. You're all making me feel very welcome here. I'm happy to be here, to be given this opportunity. So yeah, this is hopefully going to be going down without a hitch. I have all this research and everything, and it all goes well when I can't even upload the thumbnail. So we're off to a flying start this season already. I love it. Obviously, if you have any questions, guys, please leave them down below. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. If I can, that is. Obviously I won't be able to, if it's according to the track and the game, absolutely I'll be happy to answer, but if it's about who I think is going to win the race, I'll leave it to qualifying. I'll get to qualifying, and then I'll let you know. And speaking of qualifying, we're going to be there in just a few short seconds. Once we're in, there we go. Obviously you can see it's a little bit cloudy out there for the first 18 minutes of qualifying. Might see some rain on the horizon. All 20 drivers are here and we are ready to go. Lots of fresh faces, lots of old faces, and 2 McLaren drivers who managed to keep their seats for this season. So hopefully we're going to see some absolutely fantastic racing. Obviously I will probably keep repeating myself. I will probably keep doing that. That is something I normally do. It's happened already. But yeah, so you know when your heart's racing, like drivers get pre-race nerves, and now I realise that commentators do as well. So yeah, we'll see how everything pans out. We've got a couple of cars leaving the pit lane. That looks like a Red Bull and a Mercedes, a Ferrari as well, leaving the garage, and we'll be able to see very shortly who is leaving where, or at least who's going out on track first. And we have, as you can see, very cloudy in the sky there. Could be some rain on the horizon in this race. So we'll have to wait and see how that all pans out then as the cars leave the pit lane for the first time this season on a brand new game, as the Ferrari already going wide there. I believe that's Gwiggs there, RC Gwiggs. You'll have to, and also forgive my pronunciation for some of these names. It'll take a while, but we'll get there. And oh, it goes straight on there. Absolutely straight on, so got to kick that into reverse. Luckily the gravel here doesn't stop you completely, but Griggs here won't be happy that I've left this in the stream. He has ghosted for now. I don't know whether he's retired from the session. That's Lakitu as well into the gravel. Decided to join him there. Maybe Griggs there needed a friend, and Lakitu was happy to help out. Sergey here, making his way around the final few corners. So for the first qualifying of the season, let's have some guesses. Who's going to snatch pole position here? Let's have some comments down in the chat there. Who do you think is going to take pole position? It looks like Sergey's going to be one of the first to set a lap time in the Haas as he dives into turn 1 there, into turn 2. You've got to be careful on the entry of that turn 2 there. Very easy to lose control of the car, and if not, you can easily lose that back end as we head towards turn 3 into that first DRS zone. Round we go, sweeping left-hander of turn 4, then into this fast right-hander of turn 5, and then you're heading towards this slick section of turn 6 and 7. Slightly clipping the grass there. Won't have done too much to the tyres as we ride on board now. Flying through turn 8 as we head towards the heavy braking zone of turn 9. Expect some moves to be done here in the race. A very high speed section, but moves can be done, especially if you don't get the exit of turn 7 absolutely spot on. Flying through now towards turns 11 and 12, and if you see people going too wide in here, it's probably the worst idea in the world. Very fast that section. Keep it on the track and you'll have done the job absolutely right as we head into the third DRS zone on the track, added this season as we head through turn 13. Coming towards turn side, heading towards turn 15, and then rounding this final and difficult corner of turn 16. Got to be patient on the throttle as you exit the corner, and with Sergey then, he's going to head towards the line. And what's the first time of the season? It's a 1:19.9 from Sergey. Sets the benchmark, but can we go any quicker? Let's have a look at someone who is also on a lap time. This is the hard part. Trying to find someone else. Here we go. We've got Ninja, who is on a flying lap now. And we've got Viper with a 123.9. Solid Ninja, 121.9. Elite Game Boy with a 121.3. Crow Nexus, 121.2. Sean B with a 121. Dead. The OG GR1. I'm going to call you the OG. Why not? 120.4 from him. So only Sergi into the 119s at the moment. But we still have plenty of time in the session to go. The Roadhouse then running slightly wide. Obviously the yellow flags only mean that there's a caution ahead. They don't mean you have to back out of your lap time. So could be seeing a little bit of that as you see the yellow flags there come out for the Force India parked on the track. Here comes the Roadhouse towards the line. And let's have a look and see what sort of lap time. It's a 121.7 and it puts him now into P9 as Sayuza sets a 120.7. Meanwhile, Dan the Snake put a 121.2 on the board there. Musica with a 121.4. We saw the Roadhouse there with a 121.7. Lakitu there still on a flying lap. We've got the Renault of Chinchilla Man with a 120.444. All the fours if you like them. Jack Lacey on a lap, just on the exit of turn 12 now, heading towards turn 13. And he's backed out of it, backed out of the lap there, so not happy with it. Might have to go again. In fact, he will have to go again because he hasn't set a time yet. Here comes Jamie James towards turn 9, through turn 10 he goes. And along this high-speed section now. It's always difficult, this part, to chuck the car in on the left-hand side. Let's see, slightly tapped the wall there. But as you can see, a pretty good line through there. Easy to lose the back end on the exit of turn 12 if you're too greedy on those curbs. And then down towards turn 13. Not many overtaking opportunities at Melbourne, but it is one of those circuits that lulls you into a false sense of security. One mistake here and you find yourself in the gravel. It's a little bit of a lock up there as we head into turn 15 from Jamie James around the final corner now. Be patient with that throttle. Here he comes towards the line. And can Jamie James get himself up a position? Yes, he can. 120.1. Not quite the 119s, though. And we only have 5 drivers out on track at the moment. So Viper is one of them. And we'll wait and see if they're going to put a lap time on. Jack Lacey, a 130.6 at the moment. Not representative, remember, because he backed out of that lap as he headed towards turn 13. So at the moment, Sergey is on pole position with a 119.9. Jamie James in second with the 120.1. Chinchilla Man 120.4, and only 200ths behind the OG. 120.464. So user fifth with a 120.7. Sean B 121.0. Down the Snake 121.2. Crow Nexus 121.2 as well. Elite Game Boy 121.3. Musica 121.4. That's your top 10 at the moment. Griggs is out there on an outlap right now, flying through turns 11 and 12. And if you saw the Oceania League, you'll know that set of corners very well. There's a big pile up there if you haven't seen it already. But I won't ruin it for you, but go watch that one. It's a pretty interesting incident, that one. Lots of perspectives, and well, it's up to you to decide what happened there. Meanwhile then, Griggs coming around the final corner then, towards the start-finish line. And he will start a flying lap of Albert Park. I have in the past called Albert Park Melbourne Park, unironically in another stream. And I didn't realise until I ended the stream. So none of that today. Absolutely none of that. I'll make mistakes like that. It's part of parcel. 121.1, by the way, by Jack Lacey, puts himself up into P7, and the field, as you can see, is very close together. As you can see for the fitted laps, you can see mostly ultra softs. But for best lap times, Crow Nexus at the moment with a 121.2 on a set of super soft tyres, and Alex Musica with a 121.4 also on a set of super soft tyres. They're both now on ultra softs, so we're expecting them to set faster lap times. You can see yellow flags all over the place at the moment. Yellow flags in Sector 3. These are just drivers getting out of the way, you can assume, of other drivers on a flying lap. Sergey then riding the curb on the exit of turn 12 as he makes his way towards turn 13. And a little bit of riding the curbs there. The sun's poking through the clouds, so maybe that threat of rain is gone. Sergey then heading towards turn 15 and then around this long right-hander of turn 16. Seems like it goes on forever when you're driving. And Sergey then, can he improve on his 119.9? Yes, he can. 119.847 from Sergey. So he extends his lead at the top. Meanwhile, FAP Demon has retired from the session. So there he is in the wall there. So he's lost it completely in the Toro Rosso and has hit the wall. So Demon then will not be taking any further part. This is Igo Champ in the Force India, making his way for the flying lap. And Elite Game Boy, by the way, 120.3. Only just spotted that, puts him onto the second row of the grid so far. We're riding with Igo Champ as he makes his way towards turn 13. And we're seeing a lot of positions move up there. But that's Alex Musica, by the way, 120.128. That's how close this is right now. This is a great start to the season if we can keep it this close. Here comes Igo Champ then, towards the start-finish line. And what lap time can he set? So 120.5, puts him into P9. Incredible. The top 10 are separated by less than a second. So this shows you how competitive this season might be here at Albert Park. So, all but one have set a lap time that could possibly set a lap time. The Mighty Bucket is yet to leave the pit lane to set a lap time in that Williams, I believe. I think that's the colour there. Elite Game Boy then down to P4 after Alex Musica's latest time. But 120.3 is nothing to be upset about. But with 7 minutes to go in the session, there will be time for one more flying lap if you make it back to the pits now. Might be a bit of waiting and to see how the track develops there. But as you can see, the sun is starting to poke through, so I think the threat of rain is starting to disappear. We are starting to see a bit more blue clouds in the sky? Blue sky. We are starting to see that poke through, as you can see, riding aboard with Jammy James as we fly through turns 11 and 12. But as you can see now, Jammy James backing out of this lap. So will he go again, I wonder? And I've always sort of wondered, let me know, guys, how do you prefer the stream to be set up? Do you want this telemetry down in the bottom right corner, or is it a bit too much? It's my personal opinion. I kind of like it without, but it's always good to know what sort of ERS mode they're in. Of course, the ERS mode has been well and truly practiced by all the drivers in all of the teams this season to get used to it and to get used to actually using it on track. I know it is a very difficult concept to get around, but we'll be able to see. There's plenty of time. The game's been out for a month now, so there has been plenty of time to practice that, which mode to be in at which point, and I'm absolutely no expert in it at all, but it does help those lap times quite a bit. Here's Sean coming back to the pits, currently in P12. And of course, normal qualifying rules apply. Those outside the top 10 will be able to choose what tyre they start on. Chinchilla Man heading out of the pit lane and onto the track. Currently in P6. We'll be able to see what he can do. Really, he only needs to find a 10th and he's up 2 positions. That's how close it is right now. But of course, finding that 10th when you're on the limit is always harder, especially when you've got a little pressure behind you. Jack Lacey out onto the track to start a flying lap. As you can see, the pit lane here is right on the inside of turn 1 there, so you've got to be careful during the race that you don't really get too much in anybody's way. But you will have that inside line for turn 1, which makes it an awkward angle to try and turn in anyway. It's a little bit of a difficult corner at the best of times, but when you have to approach it from that odd angle, it can throw you off. Jack Lacey 3/10 up through the first sector on his previous bet throughout the entire lap. Oh, clipping the grass on the left-hand side there. That's going to cost him a bit of time. As we fly now down towards turns 12 and 13. Chuck the car in and hope it sticks. And don't get too greedy on the curbs. A little bit of a loss of control there from Jack Lacey, but he's held onto the car. And now coming towards turn 13 and 14. I didn't get a chance to see the split in sector 2, and I'm sure you guys did. I'm sure you guys will be quick to comment. Oh, big lock up from Jack Lacey there, and I think that is him abandoning the lap. Yes, it is. So 2 mistakes on that lap from Jack Lacey, but he has time to come back to the pits and put on a set of new tyres to get back out there. Mighty Bucket still not out of the pit lane just yet. Jammy James setting a lap time, I believe. No, he's on an out lap. Well, he was on an out lap. As you can see now, he's on a flying one. Chinchilla Man flying towards turn 12. Riding that curb absolutely perfectly there. That's the amount of curb you need to take. As we head towards turn 13. And then through turn 14. We're right on board now. Taking that curb on the left-hand side there. A little bit of a lock-up as we head into turn 15. Might cost him a little bit of time. Heading around the final corner and towards the start-finish line. Chinchilla Man, where can he put himself? It's a 119.9. Puts himself up into P2. Not very far away from Sergey at all there, who's now on an outlap. And you'll see the cars flood to the track in the hopes of a bit of clear track. Oh, Jammy James ran a bit too wide there and he knows it. Backed out of the lap completely there, and that might be his last chance, as I think he might be retiring from the session. Might have looked like it, but Chinchilla Man has retired. He's done all he can. He knows he can't get back to the pits. So Sergey, meanwhile, has it all to do on the outlap. He is currently on provisional pole, but he wants to extend that gap even further. Alex Musica coming around the final few corners on what I believe is an outlap. But we're going to ride on board just in case it's not. And a little bit of lag there, but he has hit the wall. That line, he does go quicker, 2/10 quicker. But it's not enough to dethrone Chinchilla Man. He does move up to P3 though. And actually, his lap time got invalidated. Just realised that. So that lap time didn't count for whatever reason. Viper retiring from the session. Done all he can. And the Mighty Bucket has decided to come out for his one and only lap on a set of super soft tyres. Keep an eye on how he does around this track and on those tyres. Meanwhile, Sergey here is now coming towards 11 and 12. Flying through towards turn 13, opening that DRS. Can he extend his advantage at the top? A little bit wide on the exit of turn 13. Shouldn't take away from the time too much. And the Alfa Romeo Sauber there has to get out of the way. Sergey then rounding the final corner now. Turn 16 as he heads towards the line. DRS wide open. And what's this lap time going to be like? Is it going to be quicker than his previous time? It is! It is! It's a 1:19.791. And will that be enough now to get him pole position? And as Elite Game Boy takes to the track, or takes to the gravel I should say, Griggs is out there at the moment on a lap. And as you can see, Sergey has backed off, so that is him done. Griggs here riding on board. Only a couple of hundredths away from Elite Game Boy. And can he move himself up from the third row of the grid? Checkered flag is out. So as you can see, Jamie James and the OG have taken the checkered flag. Let's have a look, see if anyone's close to the line. Dan the Snake is, and he comes up to P5. So out qualifies Elite Game Boy. And Griggs here now coming around the final few corners. And I'll have to wait and see how he does. And he comes into the pits, abandons the lap. Let's run on board someone who's on a flying lap. And coming towards the line is the Mighty Bucket. One and only lap on a set of super soft tyres. And he goes P18. It was a nice try, a nice effort on those super softs, but not quite enough. As Jack Lacey coming around the final few corners. We'll have to wait and see what time he sets. And I believe he'll be the last car to take the checkered flag. Jack Lacey up into P8, 1:20.3. Great lap from Jack Lacey, puts him up into P8. So let's have a look at the full results then from qualifying. And this might give me a chance to have a look at all the chats. Don't forget to leave a chat. I'll try and keep up with it as best I can. The stream might be okay. Anyway, Sergey takes pole position. Chinchilla Man in second. Musica in third. Jamie James fourth. Dan the Snake in fifth. Elite Game Boy sixth. I Go Champ in seventh. Jack Lacey eighth. Griggs in ninth. Pit Matt in 10th. The OG in 11th. Sean B in 12th. Lucky 2. Sorry about that. Lakitu in 13th, Viper in 14th, the Roadhouse 15th, Sayuza 16th, Crow Nexus in 17th, Solid Ninja Snake 18th, the Mighty Bucket in 19th, and Demon did not set a lap time in this session. He crashed out in his Toro Rosso. So, on to the race then. 50% around Albert Park. And I'm looking forward to this one. Some real F1 facts for you. Well, it was held, the first Grand Prix here at Albert Park, held in 1996, and is most remembered for Martin Brundle's infamous crash at turn 3 when he launched himself off the back of Johnny Herbert's Sauber. That is actually at turn 3. What we're seeing today, maybe, hopefully, we won't see a crash like that. And it's also where we saw Fernando Alonso and Esteban Gutierrez get too close for comfort in that spectacular crash that somehow Fernando Alonso walked away from with only a couple of broken ribs. Testament to the strategy that puts ultra softs onto soft tyres. Watch out for that one. That does seem to be a favoured strategy around this track. If you're brave, you can try and take the ultra soft tyres past the halfway mark of lap 14, but you'd be very ambitious if you want to try that. We head off then for the formation lap, and pole position man Sergey is out there right now, and apologies if the stream is not doing too well. That's just my internet connection. I have to close the stream on my computer on my end so that I can't see any comments, so that might have to happen if it gets too bad. Right now, it doesn't seem to be too bad. Let me know, guys, if it's alright. Obviously, it's down to you how this goes. So this might actually give me a chance to change the thumbnail, but let's have a comment below then. Who are you backing to win the race then? In terms of outside the top 10, well, the OG is starting on a set of super softs. Sean B also doing the same. Lakitu, Vive tyres, going for the alternate strategy. Chrome Nexus also on a set of super soft, and then you have Solid Ninja on soft tyres. The Mighty Bucket also on soft tyres, and Demon is as well. So I'm looking forward to this one. 29 laps here at the Australian Grand Prix for the season opener. We shall wait and see who will be able to take the coveted first win of the season. So then, here come the lights. 5 red lights. Round 1 is underway, and what are the starts like? Looks like Sergey's got a brilliant start off the line. The Force India of Igo Champ didn't get a great start as we head towards turn 1 now. How are they looking out of the first turn? Through turn 2 they come now. Looks like it's okay for now as we fly down the straight now. We've got yellow flags behind them. Jack Lacey was involved in something there as we now head towards turn 3. Lots of lockups here. We're running a ball with Demon now as he's got to try and fight his way through the field. Mighty Bucket there trying to have a look up the inside of the roadhouse there as they head through turn 4. Now through turn 5. As they fly through there. Great camera angle there as that looked like Demon getting a little bit on the grass there. Meanwhile, up at the front, Sergey leads the way from Alex Musica. Jamie James in 3rd there. Chinchilla Man 4th. Dan the Snake 5th. Elite Game Boy 6th. Griggs is 7th. Pitmat 8th. Igo Champ just fighting with the OG and looks like he's got to move up the inside. Fantastic move from him. And that looks like a Williams trying to go up the inside. That's Sean B trying to go up the inside of Igo Champ there as we head towards the fast turn 11 and 12. Looking at the camera angle there, it looked like Sean got the move done, but Lakitu's made a mistake there. Sean B has the perfect opportunity to go up the inside, and before we even get to the braking zone of turn 13, he's got the move done. Lots of most of the drivers have kept it clean so far from what I can see, so looking good so far as we head towards the very first... oh, the McLaren of the Roadhouse ran into the back of Chrome Nexus there. And he might have a bit of front wing damage. Doesn't look like it though as we head around the final corner. And they've kept it clean so far. And does the Roadhouse have any damage? He hit the back of the Mercedes quite hard there. And yes, he has. You can see on the right hand side his front wing has taken a knock. And meanwhile there, that's a 3-wide battle there between Pfeiffer. Sorry, the cars behind there. That is Lakitu, Igo Champ and Sayuza there. All battling away, scrapping for 11th place right now. But a little bit of debris there came off, and I think Sayuza has damage, and he does on the right-hand side of his front wing. So that bit of debris came from his car. And now the other car's behind him. Yeah, so Igo Champ also has damage on the left-hand side of the front wing there. Jack Lacey, I think, had damage earlier on in the race. We'll have to wait and see. I think he does have damage. Doesn't look like it, though. From his performance out there, looks like he's got a good amount of grip. We're going to go further up the field then, as we see Sergey leading the way on lap 2 of this Grand Prix. Alex Musica in 2nd, Jamie James in 3rd. That's your top 3 so far. Pitmat here is behind Griggs and is hoping to try and take advantage of any mistake Griggs makes then as we head through turn 16 and expect a couple of cars to pit in this lap through front wing damage. But look at the Ferrari here. The run might have on Elite Game Boy Griggs here. As we can see just about on the steering wheel. Mode 2 for his ERS battery. And there's the cars coming into the pits then. 3 of them, Sayuza, Roadhouse and Igo Champ. And Sayuza's called it a day in the pit lane. Here comes Griggs down the inside of Game Boy there. But he couldn't quite make that move stick. So he's got to try again. Tried up the inside of turn 3. I said it was an overtaking opportunity. We might see some action there, but almost got the move done, but not quite. Pitmat here. Oh, that's Game Boy's made a mistake there, and here comes Griggs up the inside. That could be an opportunity for Pitmat to try and take advantage as well. Here we go, down towards turn 9, through turn 10 they go, and it looks like it's getting worse for Game Boy because he's now under threat from the OG. He's trying to go around the outside of turn 11 there. And I don't think it's worked. No, he backed out of the move there. Probably a wise decision in the end to let Elite Game Boy have the racing line for turn 11 and 12. Sergey, though, still leads the way for now. Further back the field, we've got Lakitu has made a move on Viper, who moves up into P11. And get ready for some DRS action as Griggs heads this train in P6 right now. Pitmat, Game Boy, the OG, Sean, Lakitu and Viper all trying to vie for their positions. This battle for P6 goes all the way down to P12 right now. 6 cars, or 7 cars in this battle right now. And Viper gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That is assuming that would probably be a corner cut penalty. Or a track extension penalty, whatever you want to call it. But so far, so good for these guys. Remember, the OG, Sean B, Lakitu, Viper, they're all on super soft tyres. They started this race on those tyres, so they'll be able to go longer into the race. So we'll see what happens then. Those guys on the soft tyres may start to... well, they will have less pace at the start of the race, but they might start to come into play towards the end. At the moment then, Griggs is just about holding on to P6 right now. He's under big pressure from Pitmat though, as we fly through 11 and 12. Running a little bit wide, making that little bit of a mistake there. And Pitmat here could have an opportunity. And moves to the outside, around the outside of turn 13. Can he make that move stick? Oh, a little bit of contact between them. Just about keeping it out of each other's front wings, and Pitmat gets the move done on Griggs. Elite Game Boy, though, couldn't take advantage of Griggs being in a vulnerable position there. But Pitmat is through. He's up into P6. Griggs is in 7th there, and Elite Game Boy holding on to P8 now. But he couldn't quite take that advantage of Griggs' mistake there. Further up the field then, Chinchilla Man is used as DRS to close up to Jammy James. This is the battle for 3rd place then. Can he have a move? Up the inside of turn 3. He votes against it. Maybe trying to lull Jammy James into a false sense of security. Let him make his own mistake and find a way through. He's not willing to try and put pressure on his tyres that doesn't need to be there. At the moment though, we have a fantastic battle for P6 here. This train has just formed and doesn't look like it's going anywhere anytime soon. Griggs is still keeping up with Pitmat here, so he does have the pace. He just made that mistake on the exit of turn 12 and it cost him that position. Now he's in the dirty air. Now he's going to find that he can't quite take turn 11 and 12 at the same speed he did before. And how will he react to that then as they fly through 11 and 12 for the 5th time? And as you can see, he's dropped a little bit further back from Pitmat has Griggs. Meanwhile, that's a move from the Williams down the inside. That's Sean B. And a little bit of a... I don't actually know what happened there. It looks like Sean B had a little bit of a moment there. Well, Lakitu is up a place then. And Sean B trying to go around the outside of Lakitu going into turn 16. And has he got the move done? Who has the DRS then in that scenario? Neither of them do. Neither of them are using it. And yellow flag's up ahead then. That's someone off the track. But I'm not quite sure who it was. That looks like the Ferrari. It is. That's Jammy James. He's lost his front wing. Oh no, he hasn't lost his front wing, but he's lost a good portion of it. That is Elite Game Boy going up the inside of Griggs into turn 3 and they make contact. Oh, Griggs has spun Elite Game Boy around. My goodness, they've both lost a huge amount of time now. Griggs is down to P11. Elite Game Boy is now overtaken by his teammate, the Mighty Bucket. He's down to P16. And Jammy James here, that's a good amount of front wing he's lost there. He will need to come back to the pits and replace that. He's not going to have the same amount of pace. So whether he made a mistake or made contact somewhere, I'm not entirely sure. But he's hit the wall again. He needs to come back to the pits. The drivers behind him have to be careful. Sean B here, biggest winner. He's going to move up to P5 here. And now he could try and start an attack towards Pitmat here. Lakitu here has got to pick his moment because he knows the car ahead is wounded. Here comes Viper here trying to take advantage and try and make a double overtake. Didn't quite make it work though. And as you can see, Jammy James is losing so much time. It feels like the longest lap in the world when you have to come back to the pits to replace a front wing. Viper around the outside, backs out of it because he knows Jammy James is coming into the pits, and he does. So Jammy James then into the pits. Dan the Snake is also in. But I think this is just a strategic stop here. This looks like a planned pit stop. And it is. Onto the soft tyres he goes. So that was the strategy I was talking about before. Meanwhile then, lots of drivers into the pits, include Chinchilla Man from second place. Elite Game Boy as well, replacing Damage, I assume. Meanwhile, this is Griggs now trying to make a charge to try and get some positions back. He's got past Demon, has he? Yes, he has. And now he's got Jack Lacey to contend with, who makes a mistake there. And that is Demon trying to go up the inside. Now, Demon has already made a stop, I believe, has he? No, he hasn't. My apologies. No, he started the race on those tyres because he's done 6 laps on them. So he might have a move here down the inside. Demon up the inside of Griggs into turn 9. And, well, he ran him out of road, really. No other option for Griggs to take the grass. And Demon, it's up a place, up into P10. Took the racing line, and I don't think there was a lot Griggs could have done about that. This is the problem when you lead the race. You sometimes don't get the coverage, but you do get the coverage when you come into the pit lane. Sergey then, from the lead of the race, is in the pit lane. And Alex Musica follows him in. So this looks like it's too early to be super soft. This has to be a stop to go on a set of soft tyres. So the Haas crew, what's the pit stop like? It's a good one. Away he goes on a set of soft tyres. And Jack Lacey misjudges his braking. He's got a 5-second stop go for speeding in the pit lane. And where does Sergey rejoin? He rejoins behind the Mighty Bucket, who is yet to stop in this race. So once the pit stops are all done, we'll get a better idea. But that has moved Sean B up into the lead of this race. Lakita there is in second place, Viper in third, the OG is in fourth, Cronexus is in fifth. But they have all yet to stop on their super soft stint. Battle for ninth then, as Alex Musica has just stopped for those tyres, and Solid Ninja Steak is trying to keep up as best he can. The problem is, with those tyres, he's 6/10 slower than his own best through Sector 1. And that's what happens when you run long on these tyres. They have the same amount of performance there or thereabouts, but it is around a second and a half slower than the Ultra Softs per lap around this circuit. So it's an interesting strategy. It will put him onto a set of Ultra Softs for the end of the race, but those Ultra Softs wear quicker than you think. The abrasion on them is not, it was too high, that after a couple of laps they start to wear away completely. So, lap 8 of this Grand Prix. Sean B, now lap 9. Sean B leads the way from Lakita and Viper. And we have a couple of positions here up for grabs further down the field. And as you can see, Alex is just pulling away from Solid Ninja Snake. And no surprise in that, he's on fresher tyres. So he's just extending that gap. Meanwhile then, Jamie James, who lost that front wing, remember, not that long ago, and has rejoined behind his teammate. So his teammate has jumped him for position, and that's how badly the car was damaged. So Ferrari, not a good day so far, but still plenty of this race to go. Of course, here comes Jamie James then down the inside of Griggs into turn 3. And teammates, they've got to watch out for each other. And as you can see there, Griggs just backed out of it. And Jamie James gets through. Lakitu picking up a 3-second time penalty. Jamie James maybe running a little bit wide there, but Griggs can't take advantage. So Jamie James then up into P14. Further up the field then, battle for second place. Lakitu, Pfeiffer and the OG. Battling away for P2 here. Now, who will be the first of them to blink? One of them has to come to the pits first, and presuming they'll put on a set of soft tyres. They can't surely run to the end on Ultra Softs. That would never work as a strategy. But maybe they weren't confident enough of getting the Ultra Softs to their required stint. So that could be the reason why they've chosen to go on the Super Softs instead. Mighty Bucket getting a 3-second time penalty. Lock up there from Viper as he's pushing as hard as he can, trying to close the gap on Lakitu. And as we're rounding turn 5, a little bit wide on the curve from both Lakitu and Viper there. And you can get warnings for that if you're not careful. And we're coming around towards turn 9 and turn 10. And the Force India just heading them out, just edging them out a little bit more. And Lakita there, as you can see, lost the back end slightly. Now straight onto the defence. As here comes Viper. He's having a look around the outside, but no dice. Lakitu shuts the door firmly. Oh, that's Viper gone! He's lost the back end, but he's kept it out of the wall. And that's what I was talking about. If you're too greedy on those curbs, that's what will happen. And Viper has to watch all those cars go past, whilst he has to try and find himself a way back onto the track. But where will he rejoin then after that spin? And that looks like P12 to me. Yes, it is. So all the way up there, fighting for second place. Now he's all the way down to P12. Surely the option now is to pit onto those super soft tyres. Lakitu then into the pits. And on go a set of soft tyres, just as I predicted. So that only leaves a couple of drivers yet to pit in this race now. Sean B and the OG on the super soft tyres yet to pit. Demon and the Mighty Bucket yet to pit. Solid Ninja Snake as well yet to pit. And on top of that, I think that's it. Lakitu getting a little bit on the line there. Oh, he's lost the back end. Can he keep it out of the wall? Yes, he can. And gets swiftly out of the way of Jack Lacey, that was. And that's really easy to do there. Too much power through the... Oh, he's hit the back of Griggs there. Completely missed his braking point. Griggs is into the wall as well. Lakitu completely missed braked there. And, well, Griggs has to find himself back onto the track. It's just not been his day. Lap 11 of this Grand Prix, and so much action has happened so far. But Griggs now finds himself at the back and the last runner in this race. His teammate Jamie James, though, is closing in on Crow Nexus. 0.3 of a second separates those two as we fly through 11 and turn 12. Lovely helicopter view from here, and you can see with the DRS, Jamie James might be able to close up here. Sean B and the OG pit in for their set of soft tyres. That means Demon takes the lead of the race. And look how quick Sergey is. He's 3.5 behind Demon right now. Demon yet to make a stop in this race. Let's jump on board with Demon then as he leads the way. Flying through. And Sergey is not that far behind. Mighty Bucket there as well, yet to stop in this race. He's currently in P3. It'll be interesting to see how far these guys can go into the race, especially Demon here. How far can he go on a set of soft tyres here? Because it'll be a good indication to the other drivers how long they can go into their stints. Yellow flags in Sector 1. That's Jamie James out of the race. And he's lost it completely there. That looks like he's lost it into the wall. It is, yes. So he's hit the wall there. Jamie James becomes the third retirement of this race. And if it couldn't get any worse for Ferrari, it just has. So, Dan the Snake in P6 in this battle now for P5. Viper picking himself up a 3-second time penalty. And Solid Snake there picking up a little bit of grass there. He might have got so close that he actually did a bit of lawn mowing. But that wouldn't have affected his position there. As we head through 15 and then coming around turn 16 on those soft tyres. Remember, Solid's Ninja Snake has not stopped yet. So Dan the Snake might find this move quite easy as he moves to the inside towards turn 1. Will Solid Ninja Snake fight him? No, he won't. Dan the Snake has got the move done before the braking point. So Dan the Snake then up into P5. He can try and chase down the next car, Alex Musica. 6 seconds the gap is between those two. Chinchilla Man into the pits. And someone who qualified well into the top 10 was retired from the session. So that is his day done then. And looks like a practice stop for the Renault crew then, as they retire the car. Alex Musica, meanwhile, this has now become the battle for P3 then. Lap 13 of this Grand Prix. We're almost a third of the way through. It's flown by so far. Some great action all around the field. Pit Matt, though, meanwhile, battling away with Solid Ninja Snake. And Pit Matt has got the move done into turn 11. And that's what he wanted to do. Side by side through 11 and 12 is never a good idea. But he got the move done and moves himself up a position. So, Demon then. 14 laps so far on those tyres. or 13 laps if you're picky. He's done 13 laps. This will be his 14th lap on those tyres. And starting from down the order, crashing out in qualifying, knew he had to do the alternate strategy, had nothing to lose coming into this first race of the season. And now knows that he has to push to get himself at least in touching distance. He's around about the same pace as Sergey right now on tyres that are twice as old, because the gap has stabilised around about 3.5. Pitmat collecting the grass there very slightly. That's not going to help tyre wear or tyre grip through the next couple of corners, but he is closing in on down the snake here, using that curb and more to find himself the grip that he needs, heading towards turn 9 and turn 10. And he is closing on down the snake. Down the snake knocking up a little bit as Pitmat there into the slipstream he goes. And remember that dirty air, it has a huge effect going through 11 and 12 here. You have to back out and then back on the power again, as Pitmat here trying to close this gap to down the snake, then coming towards turn 13. And Pitmat there still almost trying to match down the snake's line, and not sure if they actually collected a bit of gravel there, but it looked like they did. I don't think they did, otherwise we'd have seen them lose control of the car. That's how sensitive the gravel is. That's how good a job it does around this circuit. Then Pitmat in DRS range then of down the snake. I doubt he'll try and move into turn 1, but this will set him up as he flies through turn 2 now, as he'll probably put the battery all the way up to its full power. But he doesn't, and stays behind down the snake for now, just waiting for the perfect opportunity to try and make that move. As we head through turn 4 and then through turn 5, flying through it now, heading towards turn 6 and 7. On board with Pitmat here, as he tries to not desperately try and find a way past, but he knows that he's gone 1 lap younger tyres. And that might not make much of a difference in a 50% race. However, he is trying to make that work to his full advantage then, flying through 11 and 12. As well, that's a little bit of a lag spike on my end. I do apologise for that. But just to confirm, down the snake still in front of Pitmat here, flying through that S section. Griggs sets the fastest lap of the race, 1:23.5, as he pitted in for a new set of super soft tyres. Demon finally comes in though, into the pits he comes. And he'll go on to a set of super soft tyres. And away he goes. So, 15 laps on those soft tyres, and that would have been enough for Demon there. So he's done just over half the race distance on those tyres. So that's looking like fine for most of them if you pitted on around about lap 10. But, well, it is... And Jack Lacey has retired from the session and becomes the 5th retirement of this race. Alex Musica flying through to try and close in on the Mighty Bucket. The Mighty Bucket yet to stop in this race. And as we fly through, Musica again just trying to take his time. He knows that Mighty Bucket hasn't pitted yet, and saying that, he comes into the pits now. So Musica will take away second place as he charges towards the line. Lap 17 of this Grand Prix. Sergey leads the way. That's Alex Musica in second. Pitmat will take third place. Down the snake in fourth. Solid Ninja Snake as well hasn't stopped yet. Sean B will move up into sixth place there. The OG in P7. That is Crow Nexus, who will then take P8. Demon will jump up to P9 on his set of super soft tyres. Watch out for him towards the end of the race. And Elite Game Boy takes P10 and the final points position so far. Mighty Bucket, though, rejoins behind his teammate, but on a set of super soft tyres. Demon closing in on Crow Nexus. And we're heading towards turn 4 and 5. Sorry, 5 and 6. And now heading towards turn 9. And again, it's one of those waiting games. You've got to be patient. When you're on better tyres than the car in front, it's all about patience, all about waiting for the perfect opportunity. And he might find it going through 11 and 12 here. And on the exit there, looks like he's got much better grip there, carrying a lot more speed. Oh, they've made contact! Crow Nexus is out! And Demon there, maybe just collecting him slightly. But whatever the case, Crow Nexus is out of this race. Viper then entering the yellow flag zone behind Roadhouse. There's the green flag. He can start to push again as he flies through turn 14, heading towards 15 and 16. As we fly around turn 16 now, towards the line. Viper has a good opportunity to try and close in, as that is Demon who's into the pits. Meanwhile, Viper going down the inside of Roadhouse and takes away P11 on those super soft tyres. Oh, sorry, soft tyres. There's super soft tyres on screen, but a little bit of a bug there. But he's actually on soft tyres, so Viper on soft tyres, making the move then. Mighty Bucket is got past Elite Game Boy, so a bit of team orders there. Game Boy moves down a position. Mighty Bucket moves up into P8. Team orders then with 10 laps to go, or 11 laps to go. It will be 11 laps to go once Sergey reaches the line to start the 19th lap of this Grand Prix. 11 laps to go for the season opener of F3 here in AOR. Shawnee B is in P6 right now, trying to close in on Solid Ninja Snake. And heading towards turn 1. Trying to close this gap, seeing if he can try and find a way past. Into the DRS zone he goes, to the inside. And Solid Ninja Snake, who's been on those tyres for 18 laps now, concedes the position. And Shawnee B moves up a position. So interesting then for Ninja Snake. He might be trying a strategy that puts him onto a set of ultra soft tyres for the end of the race. He will be quick then, but he won't have a lot of laps to be quick, if that makes any sense. Roadhouse then starting to fall away from Viper as we head through now. He is on 16 lap old soft tyres. Remember, he was one of those who had to pit on the very first lap. Igo Champ was another one of those, and they'll start to soon see their tyres degrade to a point where they start to lose that precious grip that they need to get around the circuit. Watch out for punctures towards the end of the race, especially for those who pitted on lap 1. So, 10 laps to go then. Sergey in the lead of this race. Alex Musicates in second. Pitmat in third. Dan the Snake in fourth. Sean B in fifth. Solid Ninja Snake in sixth. The OG is in seventh. Mighty Bucket 8th. Elite Game Boy 9th. Igo Champ in 10th. Viper in 11th. Roadhouse 12th. Demon in 13th. And Griggs is there in 14th place. The OG here is closing in on Solid Ninja Snake as Igo Champ pits in. Realises he can't make it to the end of the race. And we'll put on what I assume will be a set of ultra soft tyres to take him to the end of the race. Now where will that put him in terms of points then? The OG closing in fast on Solid Ninja Snake. And, well, Ninja has done an amazing job on those soft tyres, but they've got to be screaming now. Absolutely screaming in agony almost. As we have yellow flags in sectors 1 and 2. And who would that be down the order? Not quite sure actually. But never mind. Must have missed it just about. Here comes the OG then, flying through 11 and 12. And as we get into the slipstream with the OG, I'm going to ride on board. Goes to the inside of Solid Ninja Snake. Down the inside he goes. And it was easy pickings in the end for the OG. Solid Ninja Snake losing that grip and losing it fast. I think this is where the tyres will fall off the cliff at this point. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him pit in, but he doesn't. Solid Ninja Snake goes out for another lap. So once he crosses the line, he'll have completed 20 laps on those soft tyres. Incredible. I have to check something. Has he stopped yet? He hasn't, so he definitely hasn't stopped. So he's got to make a stop at some point. But the longer he goes onto those tyres, the worse it's going to get. Elite Game Boy has lost his front wing out on track. So that might have been the yellow flags in Sector 2 there. So Elite Game Boy into the pits then. This will have been a shining beacon for Igo Champ, who pitted in for a set of ultra soft tyres. There he goes. Down the main straight, the Roadhouse is in as well. 17 laps on those soft tyres. Remember, he had to pit in on the very first lap as well. So Igo Champ then moves up into P11 and is now hoping to close in on 10th place. Demon. The field is pretty evenly spread out at this moment in time, but Sergey has been leading it pretty well so far. Not really made a single mistake. Pole position and currently the race lead. He can't really ask for more than that at the moment, but he needs to get to the finish line. Lap 22 of this Grand Prix. We have 8 laps to go and expect the super soft runners to catch the soft runners and expect the ultra soft runners to set some flying lap times. Viper picking himself up a 3-second time penalty. The Mighty Bucks is closing in on Solid Ninja Snake, and Ninja has done 21 laps on those tyres. He started his 22nd lap on a set of soft tyres. Well, he's doing an impressive job. Whether they get... I don't know, actually. Maybe his engineer has found a loophole in the rules that says he can do a no-stop. I'm not entirely sure, but whatever the case, he's done 21 laps and he's still going out there. Currently running in 7th place, but the longer he stays out there, the more likely he is to be a sitting duck. Will be very soon onto a set of ultra soft tyres. He won't really have enough time to use them to their full effect. You may only get 4 or 5 laps on those tyres, but still, you want to get them into their optimum range. But anyway, that's why I'm in the commentary box, I guess, not out on track. Mighty Bucket then closing in on Solid Ninja Snake then as we head into the DRS zone then. A little bit of dirty air, but that won't affect Mighty Bucket too much as he dives down the inside into turn 13. Locks up a little bit, and that allows Solid Ninja Snake to come back through into turn 14. He's got the inside line, and I'm surprised actually. He didn't actually understeer that much. Mighty Bucket locking up into turn 15, and Solid Ninja Snake goes around for another lap. Well, he's doing a mighty job at protecting those tyres, but he has to pit at some point. 7 laps to go. Onto a set of ultra soft tyres he surely has to go now. So, we have, remember earlier on when Demon pitted in, he pitted in at around half race distance, and that's exactly how long Sergey has been on these tyres now, around about half race distance. So the important thing is now, how quickly will the tyres degrade on the soft tyres? They won't degrade as quickly as the super softs or the ultra softs, mind, but they will start to degrade, and we will have to watch that. Can the drivers up ahead keep their cool and keep on plugging in those lap times and making sure they can get those tyres to the end? I've been in a situation like this before where drivers around you start to get punctures and you start to realise that you actually look at your MFD and realise you have about 70% wear, and it gets a little anxious at that point. But again, that's probably why I'm in the commentary box and not out on track. Lap 24, and it's Sergey who still leads the way. Alex Musica is in 2nd, Pitmat is in 3rd. And after 23 laps on those tyres, Solid Ninja Snake finally pits in. That is a mega stint on those soft tyres. But he's finally into the pits now. And what tyres does he put on? He does put on a set of ultra soft tyres. Away he goes. So, quick lap times now. Where will he rejoin? He might actually rejoin in around about P10, which actually, in the grand scheme of things, isn't too bad at all. 4 seconds the gap to the car ahead, and with a set of ultra soft tyres you would think he's going to close that gap pretty soon. The OG meanwhile has set his sights on a new target. That is Sean up ahead, 1.6 the gap. He is closing, and not long left of this race to go. just over 5 laps to go in this race. As Griggs pits in, probably for the Fernando Alonso strategy. On go a set of ultra soft tyres, and he might try to set the fastest lap of the race here. The OG has lost a bit of ground on Sean there. The gap opened up to about 1.7 seconds. And of course he won't have DRS as he heads around the final corner. Igo Champ, meanwhile, on a set of ultra soft tyres, is 1.5 seconds behind Solid Ninja Snake. And there's yellow flag to sector 3. That's Ninja Snake is out! All that time on the soft tyres, 23 laps to be exact, and he loses it on the curbs at turn 12. Unbelievable from Solid Ninja Snake. He'll be absolutely gutted with that. He was in a point scoring position on the fastest tyres possible, and he's gone straight into the wall. Heartbreak for Solid Ninja Snake. Well, we're back on board then with the OG, trying to chase down Sean B. 1.4 the gap is now, slowly reeling him in. But if you notice here, through sector 2, Sean seems to have the upper hand, because you'll see that gap extend out now, he says, as it's cut down to 1.3 seconds. So the OG is on a mission here, flying through 11 and 12, and that's the section we're talking about there then. He's losing a little bit of ground, not too much though, that he'd be losing ground altogether, but just enough that gives Sean a little bit of hope at keeping this position. 4 laps to go then. Sergey starts lap 26 of this Grand Prix. Sean here, making his way around the final corner. That's Viper who's out of the race now. And he's done exactly the same. He's surely lost it on the curb at turn 12. So another victim claimed by the turn 12 curbs. And they are vicious at this track, these curbs. If you mistreat them, if you're too greedy, you are punished. Well, I think the teams at the front and the drivers at the front are a little bit relieved that they saw Solid Ninja Snake get to 23 laps on the soft tyres, because they've done 18 laps on them right now. OG, meanwhile, has done 14 laps, so his tyres, he should have no problems with his tyres towards the end of the race. He is closing in on Sean, though, and as he heads towards turn 9, absolutely get the braking zone spot on there. As you can see there, Sean now is under a bit of pressure because OG is now in the DRS zone, or in the DRS range I should say. As we fly through 11 and 12 now, on the exit there. Don't get too greedy on those curves, we've seen it before. And the OG there with the DRS open now can really start to close up on the back of Sean here. DRS obviously eliminating at best the dirty air that's created by these cars. And down the Snake there, 2.7 ahead of these two. Now he'll want these two to start battling so that he actually has an opportunity to try and pull away here. Lap 27 of this Grand Prix. And at the moment Sean is doing his best here to try and catch down the Snake. 2.3 the gap is between them. But what's going to happen first? Is the OG going to properly catch up to the gearbox of Sean? Or will Sean do that to Dan the Snake? 2.2 the gap is between them. And that could be a tasty battle for P4 when it comes to the end of the race. We have 3 laps to go. It's been a fascinating race so far. And promises to be, at least for the battle for P5, a fantastic finish. If these guys can keep it clean, of course, they're both on the same tyre, both the same age, they both stopped at exactly the same time. But who's going to have the upper hand as we head towards the closing stages of the Australian Grand Prix? Can't forget about Sergey, who has been leading, not all the way, but he has been in the lead when it matters, and that's outside of the pit windows. Meanwhile then, OG is right onto the back of Sean now. This is not what Sean wanted. This is exactly what Dan the Snake wanted. Griggs 122.2 on a set of ultra soft tyres. Here comes the OG then in the slipstream and with DRS open. Will he have a move going into turn 1? He dummies it, tries to go around the outside now, but Sean places his car perfectly there. No chance for the OG to find anything, and he loses the back end going through turn 2. And it's lost him a mountain of time here, now down to 9/10 of a second, which is good news for Sean with 2 laps to go. While the OG only has a couple of bites of the cherry left. There's only a couple of real places you can overtake here at Albert Park. And that's at the end of the DRS zones. So he's got to time it perfectly. Sean just has to place his car perfectly for only a couple of more laps. Here's Elite Game Boy, by the way, battling for P10 against the Roadhouse. And Roadhouse with the DRS against him. I don't think there's a lot he could have done about that. Elite Game Boy will take P10 off his hands into the points paying positions. The OG, meanwhile, still trying to chase down Sean B here. As we head towards turn 13. And we're now going to fly through 14. Final lap has begun, and Sergey will start it in the lead of the race, 4.4 seconds away from Alex Musica. And a battle we're watching here, the battle for P5. Sean versus the OG. The OG here, same thing again. He's only got one more lap to do this. And will he receive that radio engineer call, all or nothing? Well, what would he prefer, a P5 finish or a P6 finish? Well, he will certainly prefer a P5 one. Here we go then. Is he going to try round the outside? Again, Sean just places that car perfectly. And there's not really a lot the OG could have done there. As you can see though, Sean is struggling for grip out there. Maybe he's running a higher wear setup. But here comes the OG then, backs out of it. Going into turn 6 and then through 7, now coming around the outside of turn 8 here. Is this a chance now for the OG to get the move done as we head into turn 9 round the outside? No, he has to back out of it. Just checking the progress of our race leader. We've got a bit of time. We can spend a little bit more time with these two as they try and battle now towards turn 11 and 12. And you can see there Sean makes good ground here. While Sergey will come around the final corner, pole position for the race. And in the race, he will win the first round of this new season on a new game. Alex Musica will come across the line to finish in 2nd place. Pit Matt here is going to come across the line in P3. And what's that happening behind them? It's a move. Is it? No. Sean B has managed to hold on. Dan the Snake finishes in P4. It's going to be a race to the line. It's going to be a photo finish. And Sean B just about gets that move done, but he gets a penalty. He gets a 5-second stop-go penalty for cutting a corner and getting the position. Well, I wonder if that's added on, or that might have to be added on afterwards. If that's the case, then he will finish behind the OG. So it looks like the OG might get P6 here. That's unconfirmed though. Mighty Bucket finishing in P7. Demon getting P8. Igo Champ finishing in P9. Elite Game Boy is going to come across the line in P10. The Roadhouse will come across the line in P11, just outside of the points. But your winner of the first round of AOR F3 is Sergey. Well, what a race. Pole position and the race win. And there's not more you can ask than that. The full 25 points goes to the Spaniard. So then, in a few seconds, we'll have the official, unofficial results. And there they are. Sergey takes the first race win of the season. Pitmat finishes in 2nd. Alex Musica in 3rd. Dan the Snake in 4th. Sean B finishes in 5th. And as you can see there, 19 seconds versus 24 seconds. The OG finished behind. So he will actually jump into P5 then. Mighty Bucket finishes in P7. Fat Demon in P8. Igo Champ in 9th. Roadhouse in 10th. Elite Game Boy in 11th. Griggs finished a lap down in 12th. And the non-finishers of Viper, Solid, Ninja Snake, Crow Nexus, Jack Lacey, Chinchilla Man, Jammy James, Lakitu and Sayuza. Well, that about wraps it up for this, my first AOR stream. I know there are a couple of internet connection issues, and I do apologise for that, but it was a bit of a last minute thing for me to take over this stream. Hopefully next week Evil's in control of the stream and we will have no such issues. So thank you very much for holding out. Obviously my internet did the best it could in that one, but I think lessons have been learned. Maybe don't give the stream key to me, but we'll wait and see. Maybe my internet might get better, who knows. But thank you very much everyone for watching. Thank you for all your encouragement during the race, and I will be back next week. We'll all be back next week at exactly the same time, 8 PM. Hopefully Evil will have repaired his microphone by that time, and we'll be able to have a good commentary team back together. But that'll do it for me for my first AOR stream. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've been Kieran McGinley. You've been watching. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.